Welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about A Taste of Honey by Kai Ashante Wilson. About 3 weeks ago, we talked about The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps by Kai Ashante Wilson, and who am I to ignore the many wonderful comments saying, do A Taste of Honey next? And, as it happens, I've been wanting to read some longer books, which means that I also get to read some shorter books. And what a treat it was to read and think about A Taste of Honey this week. A Taste of Honey is set in the same world as The Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps, though they are only thematically linked. They share no characters, they don't share a timeline or a time setting, and they are really tonally very different, but just exquisite. Like the end of A Taste of Honey, chills on the forearms, little hairs on your arms all raised up, and just a wonderful, loose, beautiful feeling that wraps around your body. It is a genuinely moving piece of fantasy, science fantasy, set in this sort of science fantasy, far future, outside of time, very end of time, Clark Ashton Smith sort of Book of the New Sun, way in the distant whenever kind of setting, where we can still quote the poet Catullus, but also we have gods that have transmitted themselves into light via super science sometime in the unknown past. It's the story of Akib, a young man sort of in the flush of early adulthood who is the apprentice to his father, who's the master of the hunt and keeper of the king's menagerie in this kingdom called Olorum, and he is this sort of imperious son of nobility, but also this very gentle soul with a love of animals, who finds himself drawn to Lucrio, a Delutian soldier who is there in Olorum as part of a diplomatic mission between the two great powers of this world, or not the two great powers, but certainly two great powers of this world, and finds himself caught up in this yearning, aching possibility of what life could be. And this idea that homosexuality and homosexual love is something that you discover, that it is something that you do become initiated in, because like all social things, we can have this unnamed portion of the self, but it takes a conversation to give that identity, and it takes a thinking about the way of the world to form it into something we do and something that we are, and something that we can choose to accept or regret within ourselves. And we get this tension in Akib between the feeling of obligation that he has to his family status, to his way of being, and this really powerful and all-consuming love that he has for Lucrio and for the way that he can be with this male lover. It is a really weighty novella. It's short, it's only 160 pages, 158, but it just sits right there in your solar plexus and aches and wants and sweeps you along in this glorious sort of expanse of feeling. It's something that you can approach in this intellectual way, and at that sort of intellectual remove, you can see the cleverness and the craft, and also you can just allow yourself to be swept along in the emotionality of it, and in this deep passion of feeling, and in this quest for understanding the self and for negotiating the relationship between the self and the community, and what it means to live a fulfilled and a fulfilling life. And then there's a cheetah whose name is Saba, and I love that. It's like set in a zoo too, and someone who cares deeply for animals. Akib is he's a wonderful, wonderful protagonist in this really deliciously layered and complicated way. This disjunct between his imperiousness and his yearning, and this fear and desire and joyful effervescence, and this delicacy and delight in masculinity, and these mismatched understandings of what is lovely in ways that become congruent and powerful. It's just a really magical novella, and, well, one that I was so delighted to do a drink for. Our drink today is the Olorum, named for the city, the kingdom, where our narrative takes place. And we're going to begin with 3/4 of an ounce of Batavia Arak. It's a tricky ingredient, one that we haven't used very often, most recently for Vajrachandra Sakara's Rake's Fall, another really weird, really excellent book. So we're going to get 3/4 of an ounce of that Batavia Arak into our mixing glass, and then 3/4 of an ounce of Strega. We use this with our Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps drink. It's got this wonderful herbal quality. We have this sort of scene where Akib is dancing at midnight prayers and is served this herbal liquor from gourds, dried gourds, and so we're going to get some of that herbal, herbaceous quality and that cool, mentholated quality that's sort of definitional of Strega. We've got these cool emissaries of the Ashe enclave, these sort of semi-divine or more divine figures who are 7 feet tall and have descendants in the wider world who are witches, like Akib or other characters in Olorum. So we're going to get that very herbal witchiness into our Olorum here. We will add 1/2 ounce of lime cordial. This is equal parts lime juice, sugar, and lime zest. So we get those lime oils, we get that sweetness, but also that brightness. Akib at one point chews on some leaves that have a sort of sour, citrusy quality to them. And so we're going to get that brightness, but not in a way that is overwhelming as fresh citrus juice can be. And then it couldn't be a taste of honey without a taste of honey. 1/2 ounce of honey syrup. We really want to have that sweetness, that beautiful wildflower quality to our drink. And then finally, we're here on the sea, and we have this touch of salt, not so much the heavy salt of the Sorcerer of the Wild Deeps, but this touch of salt. So we're going to add 3 droppers full of saline solution. We discussed this last week in our drink for the Felicity Complex by August Clark. It's a mix of table salt or kosher salt and water, and that's one that you're going to sort of mix to taste. As with bitters, easy to add more, hard to add less, so start with just a couple of droppers full, and if you want a little more of that briny bite, then add a little bit more. Got all of our ingredients in here, so we're going to add our ice. Lovely. We always add our ice last because we never know when we're going to drop it all over the place. Don't do this if you're serving to guests, but I'm serving to me, so I'm making my own decisions about that. Give that a stir. We're going to want to stir until the ice and water are roughly in equilibrium, equal balance. There are 2 paths before you. The path where you have an underdiluted cocktail, the path where you have an overdiluted cocktail, and I suppose the path where you have a perfectly diluted cocktail, which is what we want to make. Oh, and it smells so lovely. We've got this sort of richness of the honey and that citrusy herbal brightness in there as well. Very clean, very crisp, very refreshing. Perfect for a hot summer's day, or just before the season of long rains as we stand in Olorum, right on the cusp of monsoon season. Lovely. Perfect. I'll strain that into a highball glass like so. As you'll notice, this is not going to fill the glass. We're going to top with some seltzer. It's elevated, it's refreshing, it's crisp. We're going to get that little bit of bubble in here, as with the gods, transmitted into light. We're just going to make this very light and lovely and refreshing. Perfect. A beautiful summer highball. This is the Olorum inspired by A Taste of Honey by Kai Ashante Wilson. A Taste of Honey is available now. I've got a link to snag it in the description down below, as well as a link to purchase Kai Ashante Wilson's forthcoming novel, The Fall of Elveness, which is coming in March of 2027. I'm really excited about it. I can't believe that I have to wait another 6 months, longer, before I can read another Kai Ashante Wilson book. But oh, I'm so excited that it is coming so soon. I cannot wait. I've got a link in the description down below for that, as well as a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails to Level Up Your Game Night. And Shatter the Sun, Queer Tales of Untold Adventure, the latest anthology from Neon Hemlock, friend of the show. I've got a short story in that, The Peacock Wizard and the Cave of the Serpent Queen. If you're looking for more queer men doing strange and uncanny adventurous things, then I think you'll really dig that as well. We've got links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.